Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Maryland Jockey Club at Laurel Park for a Saturday edition of Today at the Races. I'm Dan Illman along with Keith Fustel. First stakes race of the fall meet this afternoon. It's the Twixt. Race number 8, 1 mile, a one-turn mile for these fillies and mares. We'll have a field of 9 after the scratch of the 10 Corningstone, and it is a sensational betting race.
It is a doozy of a race. I remember, the first glance, and I'm like, oh, man. I said, you can't separate these. I'm very, very close on form. Who's going to trip out? I've got a little bit of a price play in there. We'll get to that a little bit later. But excellent job by Eleanor Albert and the rest of our racing office getting that race together. Eleanor, good job. The Twig Stakes, Corningstone. I was going to use Corningstone.
I had him on top.
In the town, yeah. But we'll wait another day for another McPeak runner. Looking forward to the Twixt.
Really exciting opening day yesterday. Mike Trombetta, 3 winners. Travion Toledo, 3 winners. And we might have seen a potential stakes horse in Trombetta's Ultimate Love. Second-time starter, made it 2 for 2. Yeah. Very impressive win on the grass. Tromby told me he's going to consider the Salima.
Yeah, I think that's the logical next step. She looks that good to me. We saw that debut at Colonial, albeit against a little bit of shorter field. Didn't have to deal with much yesterday, but the way that she handles herself just takes the rating beautifully, and really a good finish. Distance does not seem to be any concern for this daughter of Curlin. Ultimate Love looks really, really good to me. Some great prices yesterday. Early pick 5, 9,000. Late pick 5, 12 grand. So we had a really good handle on that opening pick 5. A couple big prices. Cousin Joni got it done. Her 400th career win. So congrats to Joan Reynolds. 52.20 for Monster Summer for Chip Reed, and then followed it right up. 2 of the hardest working women in racing. Susan Cooney get you home 32.20 with Nancy's Boy. A really good day of racing here to kick things off at the Laurel Meet.
Nice day of racing yesterday. As you can see, a beautiful day today. Let's take a look at our weather conditions for Saturday's card. The main track is fast. The turf is firm. The temperature is 82 degrees. It is a picture-perfect day at Laurel Park. We hope if you're in the area and watching right now, come on out. It'll be a great afternoon of racing. Let's start things off with race number 1. We're going 5.5 furlongs on the turf. Maiden claiming fillies and mares 3 and up, 16 down to 12.5. Maryland breds eligible for the $20,000 tag. This is the first leg of the first of 2 value pick 5 wagers. It's the best bet in racing, a low 12% takeout, and it's nice to see the fans have really taken to this value pick 5. They've supported it, and when they've been right, they've been rewarded with some big payouts.
Oh, absolutely. Really, really great payouts to get you started. I've got a small ticket for the early value pick 5. It's only a $12 ticket. Add if you like. I've got a single here in race 2. I did like the 4 Golden Sword, but that one scratched. It's going to leave me the 1. Let's get it started here. Good look here in the opener with the 1, 7, and 8. We'll call you Lady Holy Brick. Stars Align. There's that single in race 2 with How Sweet She Is for Jamie Ness and Carlos Lopez. Race number 3. We're 2 deep the rest of the way. 1-3. Yo Adrian going to be a very short price after some trouble at Colonial. Also going to toss in Song Time out of that same race. Race 4. 3 and the 5. If you want to add one more, Pleasant Embrace now with the scratch of Organized Chaos. Could be loose on the lead. She is quick coming in here for Kelly Breen. And in race number 5, we're going to finish things up with the 1 and the 6. You've got both parts of the entry there, the 1 and the 1-8 for Jamie Ness, the 2-year-olds going 5/8. Scratch the 5, Lucky Galan. Also toss in the firster for Tim Keevy. Sneaky good with these firsters. Number 6, pencil me in for a $12 ticket.
Very affordable ticket. Remember, it's a 50-cent minimum play. Play it twice. Play it for $1. It's $24. Let's start with your top pick in race number 1. That's the number 8, Stars Align. Hottest barn in the country, arguably. Mike Trombetta. 3 winners yesterday. This filly just getting back to her best surface.
And Mike winning everywhere all summer. It doesn't matter north, south, east. He is winning races. Stars Align, interesting. Had a really good trip, I thought, on the main track at Colonial last time out. You see my short comment, aim off of a duel, was bet down to 5-2. Just kind of packed it in through that longer stretch of Colonial. We come back to the turf. This is going to be first-time blinkers on the turf. I think that's going to be the key to me. Looking back, maiden claimers. He's about a 25% strike rate with this move with the blinkers on and maiden claimers on the grass. 207 positive ROI. I do think there's a little bit of speed in here. Holy Brick might be the speed of the speed, but I look for Stars Align to show positional speed today, be able to stalk and pounce in today's opener.
This is a spread race for me in my early value pick 5. I'm just going to take a flyer with the 2, Queen's Blessing, a first-time starter for Linda Albert. There's not a lot close up in the female family, but this dam is a full sister to a horse named Beckin the King, who was a graded stakes winner going long on the turf. She's also a full sister to a stakes-winning turf miler named Lockin' the Money. The dam is also a half-sister to a grade 3 place turf miler. So there's turf in this pedigree. Whether this distance is too sharp, whether this competition is too tough, perhaps. But the price will be there for Queen's Blessing. And I've seen these horses, and I think we've seen perhaps the best of them. I'm not exactly sure where there's a ton of upside, so I want to go for a little bit of value with the 2, Queen's Blessing. Wacolia Lady is the number 1 in here. Just a very logical horse.
We both have her into the mix. Her buyer figures certainly stack up against the rest of the field. She's had plenty of chances. She's had 10 chances now, a second and a third. She's making some of these runs, going long, flattening out. She's not the easiest filly to ride. Sometimes she gets a little bit keyed up, tough to rate and settle. I think you're going to see Yomar Ortiz draft off the pace early on. Hopefully things will develop up front between a horse maybe like Fani or Holy Brick. These two kind of go after it. Wacolia Lady, again, could be the most sustainable run from the top of the stretch here, shortening up in distance, going back to the turf course today. I thought the 3-back race was pretty good here in June.
Heisel would have the choice between Wacolia Lady and Fani, goes on Fani. Tai Lai had her choice between Queen's Blessing and Holy Brick. Goes to Holy Brick, who might be the speed of this race. And I thought Holy Brick had to go very fast last time out on the lead. While there is some speed in here, I think Holy Brick might have at least an easier time of it than the most recent effort.
Might have just reached a little too much off the claim. Claim for 16, up to 40, down at Colonial Downs. You see that opening quarter. 21 and 2, took pressure, faded through that last eighth of a mile. I think that speed stretches definitely further this afternoon and possibly all the way.
Juice goes out for a very underrated trainer. Niall Saville has had good luck recently with these kind of horses. Let's take a look at our trainer stat for the number 5 Juice. 3rd after layoffs between 6 months and 1 year. 3 for the last 10, 30% winners, a 278 ROI. I thought Juice for the most part had a pretty good trip at Colonial last time out, but you could make the argument that Juice was facing better horses. 2 next out winners. The runner-up came back and earned a 73 buyer when winning the next start.
Yeah, mild excuse, lost the crop at the 16th pole, but she really wasn't making too much of an impact at that point. She, like Wacolia Lady, I think will settle back a little bit further off the pace, trying to make that run. Trainer jockey teamed up with a good effort yesterday in the opener with Baby Oscar. Baby Oscar may be a horse to put on your horses to watch list. Had some trouble there in the stretch.
Wide open opener. Keith's going 8-1-7-6. I'll go 2-1, 5-3. Let's move on to race number 2. It's an allowance event going 1 mile and a 16th on the main track. Fillies and mares 3 and up. Non-winners of 1 other than. Take out the 4 Golden Sword. This is the first leg in the first of 3 pick 4 wagers on the afternoon. It's a 50-cent minimum play our pick 4 wager. Keith, I want to start off with a horse you like in here, and that's the number 1, How Sweet She Is. We have a video spotlight.
She's going to be an awfully short price in this field, drawing the rail at 1 mile and a 16th. I think she's going to be on or near the lead. You see this race at Parks last time out. She was a length or 2 out of it early. Jock was kind of pushing her along past the 5/8 to the half, and then she kind of really got into rhythm here when working outside into the stretch. Finishes up well to win clear. Ness has done a great job working through the conditions. Now a 4-time winner. Now comes back to this A other than level. She's got experience over this racetrack, a couple wins, really a good record over the Laurel Park surface. So I think she can get forward. If anybody else wants to go with her, I think she can grind them down.
She has an underrated break. She usually breaks very well from the gate, as she did in that race, and then they gathered her back to make one run. Friends, if you're new to handicapping the races here at Laurel Park, inside posts are very advantageous, going 1 mile and a 16th on the main track. We start very close to the first turn. This horse breaking from the rail with her good gate speed should be close to the pace, as you mentioned. This is a very logical contender. Now, my top pick, the number 2, Paradise Wins, is a 1-run closer, and perhaps with the scratch of Golden Sword, this pace might not work out for Paradise Wins. But what Paradise Wins has going for her is Michael Trombetta. We have a trainer's stat for Tromby. This was before yesterday. 16 for 58, 28%, 213. Went, what, 3 for 5 yesterday? So 19 for 63. That's not bad. Paradise Winds is a horse who, last time out at Colonial, settled near the back. Again, she doesn't have a lot of speed. She tried to come in with an in-out run. I thought she ran okay. I think she's been knocking on the door. The major concern is the race flow. Can she, A, stay close to a slow pace and still kick on home, or B, can she overcome a slow pace from the back of the pack? 2-1 seems a little bit light. Maybe she drifts.
I agree. I think it's a little bit light. I can't really trust her at a short number. Again, I talk about the Colonial numbers. I think that 71 is not as good as the 70 that How Sweet She Is earned at Parks. That's just my thoughts on that. I don't know where that jump up came from. She was a belated kind of a rally. I don't know if she's going to get the setup. She's going to need a fresh mischief motion. That's a kind of go early to keep the favorite. I think How Sweet She Is going to be a short price in here, but to keep her honest up front. But again, I think this flow is just going to be just fine for the 1.
Tell me a little bit on your second selection, the 5, Skip Through the Fire. Honest 6-time winner, scored Timonium last time out. Jose Corrales striking while the iron is hot.
We caught her last time at a good number at a 9-1. Moved early. Look at that comment. 4 to 5 wide to 3.5. So that is. They started a 3-turn race there at the Big T going a mile. Man, I don't know how she overcame that, but she was eager. She's got back numbers on her page against the right kind of horses to get it done. And maybe Yetzer will have her in a stalking position against this group because she was ready to go. I know the internals weren't that much, but she was sharp that day. I'll take a shot here with the 5 to help that exacta.
I don't want to sleep completely on the 2, Estocada, because she's relatively lightly raced. She still has some upside potential. While she finished behind Paradise Winds last time out, it was her first race off a long layoff, and she didn't break very well. When she does break, she can stay close to the pace, which could be key considering the expected race flow. We do have a trainer stat for Antonio Machado, second after layoffs between 120 to 180 days, a good number. 4 for the last 19, 21%, 336 ROI. Again, just didn't break very well. Maybe didn't care for the Colonial Service. This horse has hit the board in all 3 starts at Laurel.
Yeah, I'm looking back at my price again. I mean, the more I'm looking at her, you're wondering, well, she's been running a lot. She ran July 19th, August 24th, August 30th, now right back. Corrales? Doesn't matter. We've seen this movie before. And again, 1 to 7 days off of that break, a positive ROI. Don't leave out Skip Through the Fire.
Yeah, Skip Through the Fire. Keeping an eye on Skip Through the Fire. 1, 5, 6, and 2. 6, 1, 2, 3 for me. Maybe Estocada, the 2, gets a piece of this. Let's take a look at race number 3. Moving back to the turf course, we'll be on the Exceller. 5.5 furlongs. It's a maiden claiming race for fillies and mares 3 and up. 45 down to 36. Maryland bred or sired can waive the claiming price. It is the first leg of our middle pick 4 with a 50-cent minimum wager. Again, today we offer early, middle, and late pick 4s. Let's start things off with the number 3, Yo Adrian. This is a horse that's just been knocking on the door for Brittany Russell. We have a video spotlight for Yo Adrian's most recent race at Colonial, and if you watch the head-on, this horse might have actually brushed the inner rail because she's in so tight here, and you're going to see there's not a lot of pace for her to run at A. B, she's down inside. It seems like she's just very uncomfortable down here in behind horses. She has run. Now she gets to the outside. They're hoping for some room. It's not there for Yo Adrian, who's sort of stymied in among horses, but she is going to run on at the end of this race, and we've seen that kick from her here in the past.
Take a peek, the horse just in front of her, the one horse that particular afternoon, the Blue Silks. That's Song Time, again, who's back in this race. I thought she ran credibly as well. She picked things back up that last 16th of a mile. I know it looks like she faded just a touch the final furlong. She was giving good effort. I think the light bulb is getting brighter and brighter for Song Time and breaking down. Who's the flow in here? Yeah, that wasn't a demanding opening quarter, but she was kind of throttled back behind those horses in a little bit of a pocket. Interesting to see what kind of tactics Karamanos will take from the rail with Song Time for Elizabeth Merriman.
And that was a live race, Keith. It produced 3 next out winners. The horse that won that race came right back and won on a first level allowance with a 78 buyer, then ran in a second level allowance at Delaware and just missed with a 74. So a very strong field. Song Time, Yo Adrian, they exit that race, and we'll see if Yo Adrian, a horse that's hinted at potential, can put it all together, because what could work against her is her lack of early speed.
That is true. And do you give her definitely a little excuse last time? I expected a little bit more finish, even with that little hiccup at the quarter pole where she either shied from the rail, grazed the rail. Soft turf at Delaware, but those back three numbers, you know, leading into the last race, they just kind of stick out against this group. See if she puts it all together. Again, I'm going to try to beat her with a little bit better price song time out of that same race.
Lizzie Merriman is a first-time starter with a decent pedigree. That's the number 4 Dance Hall Diva, a $15,000 buyback as a yearling. She's a half-sister to a stakes winner on synthetic named Tactical Pajamas, a horse that won her career debut. The Dam is a half-sister to a horse named Sloan Ranger, a very fast dirt sprinter,
okay,
won the debut, earned something like a 97 Beyer speed figure on dirt. Looking at some of these workouts, that August 15th workout, and if you just look at the tab, it matches up with one of Lizzie's horses named Aperitif, a 3-year-old filly. That horse ran 6 days after the work at Saratoga, hit the board with a 67 Beyer speed figure.
Okay.
Maybe they worked in company.
Yeah.
You're just taking a guess. Perhaps if you want to split the favorites in here, you do it with the Stranger. And we do have a stat for Lizzie Merriman and Dance Hall Diva. This barn's been going very well recently with limited starters between August the 8th and September the 3rd, 4 for 10, and a positive ROI.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that just got me a little off was her record with the first-time starters. But as you said, you've got a story for her. Yo Adrian, again, could she be, you know, always that bridesmaid? I don't know. I think it's a tricky race outside of the favorite because you've got horses that are improving. You've got some horses that had some excuses. Look at Pancaking in debut, bump start, steadied it to half, 5 wide. I don't have her in the mix. She will be used in my exacta box when I key this one horse. This is a horse that Dave Rodman likes, Pancaking for Serenagle.
Can my Sunshine Girl show more speed? She showed speed on the dirt in her career debut, and last time out, I just didn't have her breaking very well at Colonial. She wound up mid-pack. Now, she didn't change leads in the stretch. She looks like the kind of filly that's still learning the game, but if she can show some speed and be forward, maybe she gets a little brave.
Yeah, that was a big wake-up on the surface switch, slow start. Made that run around the turn, flattening on the left lead. There could be more speed. Just needs to break this time for Cruz.
Keith and I have horses coming out of a similar race. Keith has a better priced runner, the one song time, 1, 3, 2, and 7. I'll see if Yo Adrian found the right spot. 3, 4, 2, 7 for me in race number 3. Race number 4 is back on the main track. We're going 5.5 furlongs. This is a high-level allowance race for fillies and mares. Take out the 1 Organized Chaos. It only leaves us with a field of 4. It is the first leg of our Chesapeake Pick 6, 20-cent minimum jackpot wager. Pick the first place finisher in each of the final 6 races on any Laurel Park program. If you're the only one to do so, you take down the whole jackpot.
Let's do it. Let's do it. This is just like a stakes right here in the middle of the racing card. Scratch the 1 Organized Chaos again. Very, very fast was Organized Chaos, but also very fast right next to her is Pleasant Embrace for Kelly Breen.
Pleasant Embrace is very fast, but I do want to start off with Miss Bucero, your top selection. A very classy horse, and she's pretty quick in her own right, too. She can get close to the pace. We have a video spotlight for Miss Bucero's most recent, actually going back to Laurel, way back.
Yeah, we're going way back, and I just wanted to show because I thought Organized Chaos was going to be in here, but again, there's plenty of speed with Pleasant Embrace. Alani, my flicker, the ability for Miss Bucero to go ahead and sit if needed. This particular afternoon, June of 24, stumbled, makes the 4 wide run to engage the leaders and goes ahead and wins clear at 6 furlongs. 5.5, I think she can sit and make a move. She's going to have that finish today. Sharp return off of that break up at from Laurel to Monmouth in the Regret Stakes. Lasix back on. A barn, last couple years, 2 for 9, 5 for 9 in allowance races off of this little break, 416 ROI. Miss Bucero from just off of it.
She has a good amount of class. She has a good amount of heart. She is a horse for course. That last race at Monmouth was a tough spot off the layoff where she was simply second to a 7-5 shot that ran very well. And she has won going second off the layoffs in the past. Alani, the number 5, is a horse that I really liked when Organized Chaos was in here because I thought there could be a bit of a barbecue among the 1, the 2, and the 3. With Organized Chaos out now, I'm still hoping that the 2 and the 3 maybe hook up at some juncture and Alani can stay close. She really underperformed last time out behind Pleasant Embrace, but it's worth knowing there was a shoe repair that she had to deal with in the paddock, and I wonder if that just took it off her game.
And you look I certainly think it did. She was half the price of Pleasant Embrace when you look at the race. Now you might get just a touch more value with Alani in race 4.
She'll be outside, clear of traffic, no dirt in her face, and she has run well over this surface in the past. A better price today. Pleasant Embrace goes out for the Kelly Breen barn, a barn that's been going very well recently. We have a trainer stat for Pleasant Embrace. Breen between August 21st and September the 1st. Wow, 6 for 13, a $3.51 ROI. This horse got very sharp in that most recent start, shook loose on the lead, and that's a nice horse that ran her down, Carmelina. She was odds on that day.
Carmelina, Butch retraining, 8 for 19, lifetime, a really, really good filly. You stand next to Breen or Trombetta right now, you might get torched. I'm telling you, man, these guys are loaded.
Pleasant Embrace could be the speed of this race, and she's won 5 of her last 7 starts, so she knows where the winner's circle is. Keith's going to go with Miss Buchero, maybe a little track and pounce from the outside. 3, 5, 2, and 4. I need Alani to get back to her best race and come from off the pace. 5, 2, 3, 4 for me. 4 down, 5 to go. We'll take a little bit of a break here on Today at the Races, and when we return, it's the late value pick 5. Welcome back to Today at the Races. I'm Dan. He's Keith. It's a picture-perfect Saturday morning at Laurel Park, and we're getting set for race number 5. Let's take a look at this field. It is a maiden race for Maryland bred or sired. It's a special weight for the 2-year-olds. Again, we're going 5 furlongs in here. Take out the 5, Lucky Galan. Andy Hernandez takes the mount on the number 1 Impressiveness, part of the Jamie Ness trained entry. This is the first leg of our value late pick 5. 12% takeout, carryover potential, 50-cent minimum play. Our colleague Callie Francois has a ticket for us.
Oh, it's Callie. Let's go ahead and take a look at the ticket. It's a $27 ticket. You're going to go ahead and single the Ness entry to get your late value pick 5 started. 3 deep in race number 6 with the 2, 3, and 5. That's a tricky little race in there. That starter optional, 12-5 down to 10 in race 6, going 5.5 on the turf. Race 7, 3, 4, and 6. Never worked today. First time starter for Gary Kapp. Sure to gain a lot of attention at the windows. Race number 8, 4, 6, 7, the Twix. You can go a whole lot of ways in there. She's going to center around these 3. If you want to add, go right ahead. Morning Matcha and Runaway Diva. Some really good value there that Callie's going to put into that ticket in race number 8. Race number 9, she's going to complete this late value pick 5 again. 12% takeout, 50-cent minimum. Great payouts yesterday. We're going to try to follow it up today with the 2 and the 5 to close things out. Close up in Fab Girl. I think they're going to be the 2 faves, but she's got some prices to get you there for a $27 late value pick 5.
I like that we had the 2-year-old race kicking off the late value pick 5 because the fans will have an opportunity to see who's taking the steam, who's taking the early money, because that's often a very good indicator, and who's live in these sort of races. The morning line favorite is the coupled entry for Jamie Ness, the 1 Impressiveness, the 1A Hard Freeze. You're going with Impressiveness, the 1, a half to Burks.
Yeah, half to Burks, kin to Parkerness. It's there. 4 starters, a debut winner, a debut runner that ran 3rd. All 4 sibs have won. So plenty of winning within this family. We saw an Engage win yesterday.
That's
Horse
right.
by Engage. That was that really sharp runner that Brittany Russell sent out. Took that pressure to kick away. So, yeah, either one works. I mean, you're looking at the workouts. You can't compare them. They're all working the same. They must be working together. We have a stat for Jamie Ness for these 2-year-olds.
You don't usually think of Jamie with 2-year-olds, but we do have a trainer stat for Impressiveness and Hard Freeze. 2-year-old debut runners in dirt sprints, 9 for the last 26, 35% winners, and a positive return of investment of $2.57. I won't mind at all if Impressiveness wins, because I have the 1A Hard Freeze, a $44,000 yearling by the Darley Stallion Hard Spun. There's a lot of precocity and speed on the bottom of this pedigree. The dam's a full sister to of Forever Partners, who won her first 2 starts, 94 dirt buyer, 2-year-old stakes-winning dirt sprinter. The dam's a half to Pal's Partner, 2-year-old stakes-winning dirt sprinter, half to My New Love, stakes place dirt sprinter. There's speed in this family. We'll see if Matilda Burnham can sort of entice Hard Freeze out of the gate.
I think the money is definitely going to show up for this Ness entry. I expect them to go off the favorite. But again, tab the tote, see if anything comes in early. The 6, Pencil Me In, is a horse I'm going to throw into the mix. Tim Keefe, first-time starters over the last year.
Getting hot.
2 for 9, 5 for 9 with an ROI 391. So we're close to $4 there. This one's family. Lost Weekend. Blue Collar. Boom. Some fast horses. You're looking at 5 starters. Ready for the first-time starters? 5, 2, 2, 1 I've got. 2 wins, 2 seconds. Okay, that's win early. That's run well early. I'm going to toss in Pencil Me In because I do think this horse might fly under the radar from a betting standpoint.
12 to 1 on the morning line. Angel Cruz aboard for Tim Keefe. Another horse, a big price on the morning line, is a horse we got in there. That's the 8 Skullduggery, a first-time starter from Madison Myers. We do have a trainer stat for Madison. Limited positive data from the Myers barn, I believe, with first-time starters. Skullduggery will have that trainer stat. Madison Myers, first-time starters. 2 for the last 10, $3.02 ROI. Blofeld is the sire, and you have to respect the Blofelds. They win 20% with 2-year-old first-time starters. Skullduggery is a full sister to Charming Way, who might have wanted to go a little longer, but was a stakes winner, 82 dirt buyer.
And ran well. Ran a 64 and debuted at Charming Way. Good second. I think it was, stakes winner Nellie Morris. The rest of the family, But you're going back to the full sib. That's where we're going to rely on. Those works, they don't reach out and grab you. But, it's all not run in the morning. It's run here in the afternoon. Proven there with the full sibling, Charming Way. Anybody else we want to talk about?
The 4 Country Bumpkin, named after our friend Willard up in the press box. Country Bumpkin, a $3,000 weanling purchase, but is 4 to 1 on the morning line for Claudio Gonzalez. The dam was a stakes-winning dirt sprinter. Ballisticus was a horse, liked a wet track on dirt, but had some ability.
3 or 4 debut runners hit the board. Mutt Dillon, Bliss this. They ran okay early, so I'm going to depend a little bit on that for Claudio Gonzalez.
Always fun to watch the 2-year-olds, especially in a 5-furlong dash to kick off the late value pick 5. Keith's going 1, 6, 4, and 8. I won't mind the 1. I got the 1A. 1A, 8, 6, 1 for me in the 5th race. Let's move on to race number 6. It's a starter optional claiming race going 5.5 furlongs on the bowl game turf course. This race is for fillies and mares which have started for a claiming price of $8,000 or less in their last 3 starts, or the claiming price $12,000 down to $10,000. We've got a field of 9 in here. This is also the first leg of our late pick 4. Again, we have 3 pick 4s this afternoon, early, middle, and late. 50-cent minimum play in the pick 4. Keith, let's start with your top selection. We have a video spotlight on the number 7, Best Kiss Yet.
Yeah, we got 5 to 1 on the morning line for Todd Beatty, Yomar Torres. Third off of a little bit of a break, 3rd time in the barn. I thought this was a good run. Now, was afforded a rail run all the way here, top of the stretch, right on through. The finish is what I like. This horse is determined. Maybe a little bit lesser company of the 3 in life, but finishes well and through the wire impressed me. That was on a softer going. This horse called a yielding turf, a softer turf in the 2 return tries at Penn National. Now we're going to come down here to Laurel Park. Things firmed up a little bit. I just think the confidence is back. This is a horse that has back numbers, ran against the right kind. Hawthorne, Ellis Park. Why not? I think Wonder Girl is the horse to beat, your top selection. It's got that little flattening going on. I think the finish, the Best Kiss Yet, might get you that last 16th of a mile, get over the top at a good number.
I go with your second pick, Wonder Girl, who you mentioned. She got wired by the favorite at Colonial last time out, Sally's Gold. She kind of was hustled out of there to push the pace, and she just didn't have it in the stretch. Maybe she didn't care for the Colonial surface. She won the last time she ran at Laurel Park, and I think she can stay close to the pace. Well, I don't think the pace is going to be glacial. I don't think it'll be blazing as well. So I think both of our horses have the tactical speed to be in position when the real racing begins, turning into this long stretch. And again, if you're unfamiliar with Laurel Park, this is the first time you're playing it. Second wire finish, going 5.5 on the turf. Wonder Girl, though, we do have a trainer stat for Kieran McGee between August 22nd, August 31st, 6 for 16. The kid will be happy.
Chipotle Pepper, Watch Me Disappear. These two look like the predominant speed in race number 6. Chipotle Pepper hasn't been back on the turf in a while. Scares me. But both of those big races are on a sloppy or a muddy track, a sealed surface. Will she be able to get back to the turf and improve on prior numbers? That's the question for me.
With Chipotle Pepper.
Yeah.
How about Social Whirl, a horse that got washed off the grass last time out at Penn National? I just think is a much better turf horse. Was in against a good field at Delaware 2 starts back. Faced 2 next out winners that day, with the winner of that race coming back to run second in a Colonial race with a 79 Beyer speed figure. It just seems like Social Whirl at 10-1 on the morning line fits with these horses.
She does. I could see her underneath. I've got her 4th. Use her in exacta. Like I say, I'm probably going to key around the 7, top and bottom. Afondi's a horse I've always liked. Bernie Dunham hasn't seen the winner's circle this one in quite some time, but I think turning back to the 1 turn, she fits. She's run very well over this turf course. Afondi, Social World. I think I'd like Afondi a little bit better. Social World to me looks like a horse. She's going to need some cover. I think she's going to have to be kind of maybe boxed in a little bit around the turn, keep her attention to enhance the finish.
Best kiss yet in sharp form. Confidence sky high. Keith's going with this one at 5-1 on the morning line. 7-8-1-2. I'll go 8-2. 1 and 6. Race number 7 is up next here at Laurel Park. As we take a look at the field, we're going 6 furlongs. It's a maiden special weight. These are from Maryland bred or sired older runners. A field of 6. Jorge Hernandez takes the mount on the 4. Summer in the Country. We both landed on the 6. Never worked a day in here. We do have a trainer's stat for Gary Capuano. Older debut runners on dirt. Recently very good. 3 for the last 10. 30%. 204 ROI. We know what he does overall with debut runners, especially the 2-year-olds. Never worked a day. Only sold for $7,000 as a weanling, but has a wonderful pedigree.
Yeah, and I know the owner, Danny Lunsford. See him up in my spot, the Green Mountain Station, every once in a while, watching a little bit of Penn National at night. But he's been very patient with this one. A full Celtic Contender, right?
That's right.
So he got one for 7, possibly a little bit of a steal. So the time, they've taken their time with this 3-year-old gelding. I think he's going to be ready to go. I like the works leading into this, the mile work. We're going to have to get 6 furlongs. I think this one's going to be ready. You look at the bullet work last time out, too, 48-3, leading in Gary Capuano. You can't deny his record early on.
Yedsit Hazelwood had his choice between Never Work a Day and the morning line favorite Summer in the Country. Lands on Never Worked a Day. Let's talk about Summer in the Country. Jorge Hernandez will take the mount. This horse, it's interesting, is coming off a layoff here, and sometimes you're worried about that. But this horse actually earned the lifetime best Beyer speed figure off the absolute same 140-day layoff. Maybe this horse will run well fresh, and he does have speed.
Yeah, he's got speed. Decorum's got speed. We just don't know about the rest. We don't know about Thundercry, the First or Steeler Nation, Never Worked a Day. I don't expect it from Albert Finnegan. But yeah, Summer in the Country, a little bit of a bad luck, I guess. But I think this one's going to be back, ready to go. Decorum, Summer of the Country, I do think they'll be close to each other around the turn, and they both can finish in here, so the 6 better be tied on.
Decorum has been running really well lately without getting it done. Hit the board in the last 3 starts. I finished ahead of a next out winner, albeit on turf. That horse, King Size, came back and earned a 70 Beyer speed figure. This horse has always kind of hinted at some ability. We'll see if he can deal with some pace pressure up front. Steeler Nation's a first-time starter. You mentioned Tim Keefe. We do got the Tim Keefe stat for the first-time starter.
Right.
4 for the last 20. 20%, 393 ROI.
Okay.
Tim Keefe historically likes to give him a race or two, but recently has a crop of young horses that can win first time out. Steeler Nation's by Golden Lad. It's a solid pedigree.
Yeah, give me some deeper down. I did not take a close look. Do you have any other notes on the breeding bottom side here?
There's not really a lot of black type in this pedigree. I just find in a short field like this, they've taken their time. I have a feeling this horse fits very well with this group. That 831 breeze on August 31st, it matches up with Tim's Code of Silence, a horse that ran second back in July with a 51 Beyer speed figure. Maybe they worked in company if you want to try to gauge that. It's a really fun 2-year-old race. We're hoping the Gary Camp keeps it going, though, with the 6. Never Worked a Day. 6-4-3-5 for Keith. 6351 for me. And now it's time for the feature race, and what a feature race it is. The $100,000 Twix Stakes, named after Twix, who I believe when she retired was the leading money-winning Maryland-bred mare of all time, trained by Katie Voss. She won the Milady Handicap in 1974 out in Southern California. Nice to honor Twixt. Field of 9 after the scratch of the 10 Corningstone. Angel Cruz picks up the mount on the 4 Tipple, one of 2 in here, trained by Linda Rice. This is just, again, I can make a case for every horse in this race. It's a spread for me in the multiple race wagers. Let's talk about your top pick. A big price on the morning line and a Maryland Million winner, Foxy Jr.
Foxy Jr. Let's go right to a video spotlight back November 9th. This was good. I mean, I think this one has kind of maybe not found the right spot of late. But Foxy Jr. put it all together in the 38 Go-Go. Stalking Malibu Beauty relaxed beautifully over this Laurel Park surface and just kind of steadily reels this one in past the quarter pole. Going to grab command upper stretch and go away by 2 and change for a lifetime best 90 by her speed figure. This is a mare that's 10 for 23 lifetime. She likes this track. She can handle the one turn. It's a race I think there's going to be enough flow. They're not going to get terribly far away from her. She's got that race last time out. She kind of chased into turf. She's back changing surfaces. Bernie's done well, turf to dirt. 20 to 1, I don't think so. I think she's going to be much lower than that, but I'm still going to take the shot. I think drawing outside is just fine. Wild About Hillary just to her inside will go ahead and want to be forward along with St. Benedict's Prep. Sit back, take a little cover. I think she can finish up this final 5/16 of a mile.
Just remember, she won 6 consecutive dirt starts to finish off her 2024 campaign. I talked to Bernie earlier this week, and he said he's just had a hard time placing her. He tried to run her in a couple of Pennsylvania-bred stakes that didn't fill. He ran her on the turf. He knows she doesn't like that surface. He just wasn't happy with his decision there. This is the spot, perhaps, at a big price for the number 9, Foxy Jr. I wanted Corningstone. Corningstone scratched. I called an audible. I'm going to go with the 2, Low Country Magic, coming in for Nacho Correas, who's had very good success at Laurel Park in the past, including with Low Country Magic, who was a winner here 2 starts back. Now, this horse finished behind Ragtime Bell last time out, and I do believe we have the video spotlight.
Right video.
Ragtime Bell and Low Country Magic. Low Country Magic is battling for the lead in this race. Ragtime Bell is sitting from off of the pace. Low Country Magic's dueling with a short-priced horse in here and is still going to end up finishing okay for 3rd. Ragtime Bell's being pushed along here and grinds it out to win.
Yeah, she's caught wide is Ragtime Bell. Pretty much every step of the way, 3 to 4 wide. Maybe shifts out a little bit wider. Able to sustain. There's a horse just to her inside that gets in a little bit tight. But we're going to pick it up into the stretch. Low Country Magic doing all the dirty work. Just gives way ever so grudgingly in the last 3/16 of a mile. Only beating a length and 3/4 when it's all said and done. My question to you, Dan, this draw inside at the 1-turn mile, is it a must-send for Low Country Magic?
It forces her hand completely, and I think Karamanos has to just send her out of there. Wild About Hillary has speed, could arguably be the fastest horse in this race. But when I did talk to Tanner Tracy, her trainer, earlier this week, Tanner said doesn't necessarily need the lead to win, so maybe they will sit if Low Country Magic is on ascend. As for Ragtime Bell, who defeated Low Country Magic, Brittany last out winners, 3rd off layoffs between 6 months and 1 year, 5 for the last 12, a giant ROI, $4.82. Ragtime Bell seems to be coming into her own at the right time and might get the right flow.
Equaled up atop last time out. 3rd time in the barn for Brittany Russell. Looks like she's on the improve. Another filly I think that's on the improve, go to the rail with the 1, Central Avenue for Michael Stidham. It's a filly that's run well without Lasix. Back as a 2-year-old on the page, Torpedo Anna. So Torpedo Anna, Central Avenue, not far off from that one. I think she got the right kind of move last time off the bench at Colonial, off a little bit of a freshening. This might be just the kind of field to set things up for her. Grinding style. She doesn't have that big Unleash the Fury kind of a run, but I think she can steadily move in and be a major player here in the Twix.
She was grade 1 placed, as you mentioned, as a 2-year-old. She ran into Torpedo Anna. Michael Stidham told me earlier this week this horse just had several setbacks, which is only allowed her a handful of starts since her 2-year-old campaign, but Stidham did tell me that last race showed she's coming back into form, and maybe she's rounding back into her best. A very good price in here. And as for Wild About Hillary, who pulled off an upset graded stakes win at Oaklawn Park on the lead, she went pretty well last time out at Prairie Meadows. Now, I thought that track was favoring speed, but she went to the front, she put away Corningstone, and she held on gamely for second. She'll be in the thick of things when they turn into the long stretch. And again, second wire finish of the one-turn mile here at Laurel.
And Linda Rice still with 2 in here, right? We haven't heard anything. So St. Benedict's Prep, I think she's going to have to go to keep this 8-horse Honest Wild About Hillary, which could also set things up for her horse Tipple. Tipple wants that little target to run out, and I think she's going to get it today. But I think Foxy Jr., you talked to Bernie, and you gave me a little bit more confidence after talking to you and saying, you know, he's expressed she really hasn't lost much. He thinks she's just fine. She's going to be okay moving forward. This is the right spot for her, leading her down to the road.
What a race. St. Benedict's Prep, already a stakes winner at Laurel. Tipple, a horse with a ton of upside potential. And then you got the Millionaire Morning Matcha coming in here at 10-1 off the break at Parks for Butch Reed. I cannot wait for the Twixt. 9162 for Keith, 2869 for me. Let's wrap up a really nice card at Laurel Park on Saturday with race number 9. 5.5 furlongs on the Exceller Turf course. It's a maiden claiming race for fillies and mares. 16 down to 12.5. Maryland breds eligible for the 20. Take out the 4, Field the Bolt. Take out the 7, Anita Beer. Congratulations, Kenny Cox. 400th win at Timonium, I believe, a couple of weeks ago. So Kenny had that 400 win mark as well. We both landed on Fab Girl in here, even though there's a bit of a question mark surrounding her. She's trying turf for the first time. It's not like there's a ton of turf in this pedigree. It's just that she's so consistent on dirt that if she can just equal those races, I think she's a very dangerous horse.
One of these situations I don't trust a whole lot. I think she's shown the ability to make a little bit of a move from just off of it. She's got enough speed to lay close. I don't think anybody's going to get too far away from her. But Fab Girl, top side, the factor. They run on any surface. And the bottom side, the mare. She battled a long way. Her lone turf start was an allowance race. She going long, but she was there till very, very late. She battled on the front end. So Fab Girl, maybe not even really. She's going to be a short price, I think, in here for Phil Capuano and Yetz at Hazelwood. But I think he keeps her close so she can get on by.
The number 2, Close Up, made her first start for Anthony Farrier last time out, and they just ran away from her in the early part of that race. It was a very fast pace. She was completely outrun. She passed a couple of tired horses in the stretch. I don't think the pace will be as fast in here, so she can stay closer. We do have a trainer stat for Farrier. Another barn that's been hot recently. 4 for 12 between August 31st, September the 3rd, 33%, 253 ROI.
Yeah, she drafted back off the pace in that race at Colonial. I expected a little bit more run, a little more finish. She just never really kicked it into gear, but Russell stays. Okay, a player. A little bit of a possible long shot is the 3, My Kind of Mischief, 6-1 on the morning line. First time blinkers sprinting on the turf. Shown speed on the go-go back without the blinkers. Maybe it carries a little bit further. Sneaky speed shot. And I do think Buck and Wright's going to be forward.
I think Buck and Wright makes the lead. Our potential long shot is the 6, Gotta Be the Shoes, for our friend Damon Dilladovico, a horse that was wired last time out in the turf debut at Colonial, showed at least a little bit more life than in the career debut, and maybe just maybe is a horse that just needs a couple of steps and is coming into the right form. I think this is a good spot for her, if she can run, to at least get a piece of it. We're both going 5-2-6. You have the 3 in the 4 spot. I have the 8 in race number 9. Best play time on a very competitive Saturday card. Keith, where you head?
We're going to wrap it up real quick. 23 minutes to post. Get those pick 5 bets in early. Foxy Jr., race number 8, number 9, Foxy Jr. for Bernie Houghton. Proven over this racetrack. Dirtied up, kind of a little bit recent form. Turf, back to the dirt. A lot of things, I think, going her way. I hope she can stay close to that morning line number. I don't think she is, but man, if I can get 6, 8, 10-1 on her, I'm going to go ahead and run to the windows. Me and the Rod Dog be chasing Foxy Jr.
She is sure consistent. My value play is a little bit earlier in the card. Race number 6. Wonder Girl's only 5-2 on the morning line, but I like her tactical speed. I'm willing to give her a mulligan for that most recent race where she got wired at Colonial. I think she'll be right there when they turn into the stretch for Kieran McGee, a barn that's been going very well. 22 minutes to post for race number 1 at Laurel Park. Get your plays in for your early value pick 5 with that low 12% takeout. Main track fast, turf is firm. Our colleagues Callie Francois, Dave Rodman will take you through the day's action. Speaking of the great Dave Rodman, the voice of Maryland Racing, let's go up to the top of the stands for scratches and changes.
All right, good luck.